Hello, welcome. Happy Monday. Hi, welcome. All right, friends. So today is Fat Yogi Float. If you want to go ahead and grab something to sit on, so pillow, blanket, bolster, something that has some cushion, and we'll begin in a seated pose. So something that lifts your hips a little bit. And today I'm feeling like I really want to be grounded. So as an offering, I'm going to be practicing with some black tourmaline. I don't know if that's something that um, you have on hand, but if you do, you could grab it. If you have like a little altar or something and put some at the top of your yoga mat, it kind of like will help with this grounding practice that we're about to have today. And if you don't have it, no worries. You can still like claim all these amazing vibes. So let's go ahead and find our seats. So this can be cross-legged or legs uncrossed, like whatever is feeling right for today. And then once you find it, let's just begin to close our eyes and just feel into the breath. So take a deep inhale, open mouth, exhale, deep inhale, open mouth, exhale. A few more times here, deep inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Last time on your own. Begin to just settle here. Maybe remove the fleshy bits from your sit bones. Let's check in with our lower half. Maybe wiggle the toes, flex the muscles in the legs, and then release and let them just kind of sink into the mat. And then let's flex that pelvic floor, that mula bandha, and then let it relax. Just send some easy, smooth breaths to your legs. Feeling that grounded, heavy feeling. And then let's bring our hands to our bellies and give it a squeeze and just say, thank you, belly, for existing on my body. I appreciate you exactly as you are. You hold in all my organs and digest my food, and you don't need to change a thing. You can leave your hands on your belly, and I'd like to just kind of offer this little tidbit of wisdom, but somebody the other day was like, I don't think I could ever love my belly. And that's okay. You don't have to love the way that it looks, but my goal is to help you appreciate it for the function that it can bring to you. Just like, there are things in your home that don't look beautiful, but they function so well or as good as they can, and you appreciate them. They don't have to look beautiful in your eyes. You can just appreciate them. So that's what we're trying to do here is appreciate our bellies and just send the loving energy to our bellies. And like I said, you can keep your hands on the belly or move them back to your knees. And let's focus on the spine. So at the base of the spine, imagine a long string going all the way to the top of our head. And it helps to lift up our chest. Maybe we scrunch our shoulders up by our ears and then let them roll down and back and feel that length in our spine. Our chin kind of will tuck, maybe a little bit. And just feel that breath happening, that smooth, easy breath with that lifted chest. And let's wiggle our fingers and flex the muscles in our arms, release. Let your whole body be heavy here. So really feeling that grounded feeling. And then bring your awareness to your mouth and let's begin to seal the lips and relax your jaw. So unclench and begin to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, finding that ujjayi breath. So as we sip in the air, we count to 4, 5, or 6. And as we exhale, we find that same count, 4, 5, or 6. If we inhale for 4, we exhale for 4. If we inhale for 5, we exhale for 5. We find this ujjayi breath that works for us. This is your breath of life, and at times during today's practice, you may lose it, and that's okay. You can always come back. So as we breathe and sit here in our practice of breathing and feeling lengthened and letting everything feel grounded, I'd like to offer the intention of I am grounded. We inhale, we think I am. Exhale, we think grounded. And tapping into this feeling of physical grounding, what does it feel like now? Maybe that's where you'd like to feel all the time, like completely grounded, secure, safe, right at home. And then what do you feel mentally when you're physically grounded? Is it the same sensation? Do you have to feel physically grounded before you feel mentally grounded? When was a time where you felt it? Maybe tap into that. And last, the emotional grounding. Is there a time where you felt emotionally grounded and you could have lived in that space forever? I feel like emotional grounding is like the best just because it's so effortless when you finally can tap into it, but it is really hard to get there. So if you're not sure if you felt that before, then tap back into that physical grounding feeling. And as you feel mentally, emotionally, and physically into the grounding, just be thinking inhale, I am, exhale, grounded. And we'll be here for a few more breaths, just tapping into that ujjayi and the intention for today's class. And then check on your shoulders. Maybe they began to round or your back began to come forward. Let's lift and lengthen out that spine and sit tall here. And let's bring our right ear down to the right shoulder and stretch out our left side of the neck. So our left hand can stay in our lap, reach off to the side, or the top of the hand can come and touch the base of the spine. Wherever you're at in this stretch is good. As we inhale, maybe the muscle shortens, and as we exhale, the muscle lengthens. We begin to like really feel into that grounded feeling as we exhale. It's like that muscle wants to just kind of open up here in the neck. On that next exhale, we release our left hand. Inhale, we bring our head right back to center and we sit tall on that next inhale. And then exhale, left ear down to the left shoulder and decide for your right hand. Stay in our lap, reach off to the side, or top of the hand to the base of the spine. Wherever you're at here is good. Let's breathe into that muscle, creating length into that muscle that connects between the shoulder and the jawline, essentially. On that next exhale, let's release our right hand. Inhale, we come right back to center. And let's just take a moment to just feel into both sides of our necks, like we have more than one neck. And sit tall. And like now we can open our eyes. Let's acclimate ourselves to the light in the room, erase our second neck. On that next inhale, let's scoop up the arms. We can look up, press into the palms. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Inhale, we circle. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Inhale, circle the arms. Maybe this time we arch the back a little bit. And then exhale, we round the back a little bit. This is optional. So keep in mind, everything that I'm offering is up to you to decide, like, does it feel good? I can try it. Maybe today is the day, or maybe not. Take a few more rounds of breath here. A few more arm circles. Let them be big and grand. Spread your fingers, look up, stretch out all the places. Then on that next exhale, slowly begin to hinge at the hips, bringing your hands to the ground, round your shoulders, tuck your chin, and let yourself find just a gentle forward fold. If both the legs are crossed or one leg is extended or both legs are out, is all good. Wherever your legs are at right now is good. Take a deep inhale, maybe press into the sides of the belly where it meets the thigh, and then exhale, walk your hands out just a little bit more and find that forward fold. On that next inhale, we push ourselves all the way back up. We lean back, bring our hands behind us. If our legs are crossed, let's uncross and recross, or just switch sides. Wherever you're at is good. Inhale, we circle the arms again. This time we reach up, find that little arch, and then exhale, we just let our hands come down to the ground. Press into the sides of the belly where it meets the thigh, and let's forward fold. Shoulders roll forward, chin to the chest, and we just find this very nice little stretch in our hips, our low back. As we inhale, we might move the belly where it meets the thigh, and then exhale, just roll down a little bit more. And if you roll down the exact same, that's good too. Everybody's at a different place, so don't judge yourself too harshly. Breathe. Find that ujjayi. On that next inhale, we lift ourselves all the way back up, and let's circle the arms again. This time, find our beach ball above our head. We roll the shoulders down and back, and maybe we look up at the beach ball and then look to the horizon. Find a gentle twist to the right. Right hand comes down, left hand comes to the left leg. We take a deep inhale, we lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist and look over that right shoulder. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we twist. We come back to center. Inhale, circle the arms again. Find your beach ball, maybe that arch. Then look to the horizon. Find a gentle twist to the left hand to the left hip. Right hand to right leg. We take a deep inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist, look over that left shoulder. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we twist. And come back to center. Let's find all fours. So coming onto hands and knees, or if you need any extra cushioning for your knees or blocks for your hands, then provide that for yourself. Otherwise, it's hands and knees to the mat. And here, let's remember our wrists are underneath our shoulders, our knees are underneath our hips as best as we can. Find a neutral spine, and that includes the neck. And when we're ready, we inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, push into the hands, really feel that stretch in our back, and then exhale, round the back. Again, push into the hands, feel that stretch in our back. Inhale, we find our cow. Exhale, we find cat. And roll through this a few times, just gently warming up the spine, allowing ourselves to feel that stretch in our backs. And if there's anything else that you need from this back movement, like a little swirly action or some organic movement, then go there, do that. You're allowed to move in ways that feel good for your body in this action, like within this range. So you can find a barrel roll or a swivel or anything like that. On that next exhale, we tuck our toes and shift our hips back. And look at our fingers. So spread your fingers, dig in with the fingertips, and engage your arms. So your arms are on, your toes are tucked, and then just relax your neck. So find this knees down, down dog. Take a deep breath. So this is always an option. Just remember that as we practice today. And as we exhale, we step our left foot forward. I need to lift up my left hand to do it. And then I place it back down and I lift up my back knee and set my right foot forward and find a forward fold. I adjust my feet so that they're as wide as the mat, and then move my belly as I bend my knees, and I just find my forward fold. So wherever you're at, it's good. Your hands might just be dangling. You could grab opposite elbows. If you have blocks or want to use them, you can place them at the top of your mat and rest your hands on them. Wherever you're at is good. Here we might want to try bending the knees a lot, or leaning into the toes, or leaning back into the heels. On that next exhale, let's bend the knees a lot and then slowly roll all the way up to standing. Head comes up last. And shake it out. If you need a sip of water or shed a layer or something like that, then go for it. When you're ready, let's go ahead and find our mountain. So hands come out to the sides, shoulders roll down and back. We find that spinal alignment just like we did in that seated pose. And we're here for a few breaths, so take your time getting into it. And if you feel comfortable enough, we can close our eyes. Feel that grounded feeling. I am grounded. Nothing's knocking me over today. I am grounded. When we're ready, we open up the eyes. And let's just take a few ujjayi breaths here. Inhale, I am. Exhale, grounded. On that next inhale, let's circle the arms all the way up, reaching up. Exhale, bring hands to heart center, and find a few arm circles. On that next inhale, we reach up, lengthen, and then exhale, we slowly begin to fold. Maybe hands come all the way down the center line, and we find our forward fold again. We can place hands on the blocks, or we can find that forward fold in whatever way we did before. We can bend our knees, make room for the belly, and relax our head. So back of the neck, relax, looking towards the back of the mat. On that next inhale, we find a halfway lift, so back is flat, and hands can stay on the blocks, they can dangle, or they can even tuck in by your sides where it's a soft touch on your thigh. The neck is in line, so look down. And then stick your booty back here. The whole back of the legs should feel a stretch. Exhale, we fold. Find that forward fold again. On this next inhale, we'll rise up with a strong back. So bend your knees a little bit and come up with strong back, strong arms, circling the arms as you come all the way up to standing. Exhale, bring hands down the center line and to our heart center. Shake it out. Okay, so half sun A. Let's do that a few times. Inhale, we circle. Exhale, bring hands together and begin to forward fold. Inhale, we rise, finding our halfway lift. Stick the booty back, relax the neck. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we rise with strong arms and strong back, circling the arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, bring hands back to our heart center. All right, so that's one. Let's do two in a row. Shake it out. Inhale, we circle. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we rise, find our half lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we bring our hands all the way back up to the top. Exhale, we keep going this time, finding that forward fold. Inhale, rise, find your half lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we rise all the way back up to the top. Press into the palms. Exhale, we come right back to center. Shake it out, take your breath, take your water, do whatever you need to do here. We meet back in mountain whenever we're ready. So as we find our mountain, maybe a soft gaze or closing our eyes, feel that grounded feeling. I am grounded. Reminding yourself that you can always tap back into this during the practice or even during your day. Sometimes we feel like we're so out of sorts that reminding ourselves that we can come back to this anytime we want. It's here for us. On that next inhale, let's circle the arms all the way back up. Press into the palms, and then exhale, we begin to fold all the way back down. Inhale, we rise, finding our halfway lift. Now bend your knees a lot and take your toes out to the sides and make like this frog shape. Hands come all the way down to the ground. We're just creating a space so that if you don't have blocks, you can lean into the hands. So weight is into the hands. And we lift up the left foot, step it back, lift up the right foot, step it back. Bring your knees down to the mat. We find our tabletop. So once we find it, let's lean forward as much as we can, engage your core. Here's your chaturanga, your plank. Bend at the elbows and let's lower down an inch and push right back up. Yes. Now, lean your hips forward, squeeze your bum and look up. Up dog. Lean your hips back, look down, down dog. Knees can stay down or knees can lift up here. Relax your head. Breathing, find that ujjayi. We're here for 3 more breaths. I am grounded. I am grounded. And that next exhale, bring your knees down and come right back into that plank. Engage your core. And this time we lower down an inch and then let's just let our bodies come all the way down to the mat. If you can slow lower, that's awesome. And if not, that's awesome. Bring your hands right next to your chest and look down. So here we point our toes. We squeeze our bum. We lift up the chest and squeeze our shoulder blades. And we might even hover the hands just to kind of show that this is our back bend. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, maybe push into it a little bit more, lifting up the chest more and keeping that lower half engaged. So squeeze the bum, point the toes, squeeze the core, push into the mat. We want to protect that low back. Inhale, we come up. Exhale, we lower down. Inhale up, exhale lower. Maybe your arms extend a little more. We just find a few chaturanga push-ups or up dog push-ups. When you're ready, maybe we extend all the way or halfway, wherever you're at. And then exhale, we shift back, tuck our toes, and then decide, knees down, knees up. If we'd like to go knees up, dig into the mat with your fingertips, take our feet a little bit wider, bend the knees, and push into the hands. Now stake your booty back. Then we straighten the legs. Whoa, the backs of my legs are really tight today. Relax the neck, relax those shoulders. So look at the creases of your elbows. Where are they at? Try to make them like come down so that they're facing each other. Relax your shoulders. And that next exhale, let's bring our knees all the way back down and lift up the chest and step our right foot to the front of the mat. Hands come to the hips. Take a deep breath here. Let your brain kind of reacclimate into wherever it's at. And just slowly begin to lean forward, finding a low lunge. Engage your core. Think about that muscle we're stretching in the front of the left thigh. We're looking straight ahead, shoulders away from ears. And that next exhale, we push into that right foot and flex it and straighten it out. And slowly lower your chest so that the hands come. Maybe they're reaching down or maybe they stay on your hips. What would make you feel more grounded? We look out to where it's like right past our toes, kind of center line, maybe like 6 inches up from where our toes are, and then right down the center line. So our neck is in line. Stake your booty back. The whole back of that right leg should feel a stretch. On that next exhale, hands come down to the mat to the inside of the right foot. Swing around that right foot. And then come back up to a kneeling posture and step your left foot to the front of the mat, hands come to the hips. We look straight ahead and slowly begin to hinge or kind of push your hips down so that you find that low lunge. Breathing, finding that ujjayi. I am grounded. I always feel super grounded in this low lunge. It's hard not to, right? We're sinking the hips down. We're looking straight ahead. On that next exhale, we push into the left foot, flex the left foot, and straighten out that left leg. We lift up the chest and then slowly lower down, hinging at the hips. So we're only thinking about lowering from the hips. So this back is in a straight line. So if you find yourself going like this, try to lift up the chest and roll the shoulders back, and then move your chest forward. Breathing here, finding that breath. I am grounded. I am grounded. Both hands come to the inside of that left foot. Circle it around. And then bring your hands right back up to the top of the mat. Tuck the toes and lift up the hips to find that down dog again. Relax your head, look to the back of the mat. Push into the hands, bend the knees, shoulders away from ears. On that next exhale, begin to walk your feet towards your hands and maybe hands towards the feet. Inhale, we rise up, finding our half lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we rise, circle arms all the way up to the top. Press into the palms. Exhale, we bring our hands to heart center. Let's shake it out. All right, so one more round. We know where we're going. Take your sip of water and we meet in mountain. We find our breath. If we lost it, we find that intention, the feeling of groundedness. That's a word I just made up. I feel like you do that a lot when you're practicing yoga. You're like, just add ness to the end of anything. It would make sense. Maybe. On that next inhale, let's circle the arms all the way up, reaching up. Exhale, we begin to slowly roll forward, find that forward fold. Take your feet wide if you'd like, bend the knees, adjust for the belly. Inhale, we rise up, find that halfway lift. Exhale, we bend our knees, take our toes out, find your squat, and plant both of your hands. Lean into the hands as we step our feet to the back. Knees come down to the mat, and we find a plank. Engage your core, and when we're ready, choose which chaturanga. So 1 inch down or all the way. Inhale, we find that up dog. Exhale, we shift back and we find down dog. Relax your head, push into the hands. Bend your knees a lot. So if you're in down dog, let's try taking your feet a little wider. Bend your knees a lot. This almost like brings your arms a little bit further back. Relax your shoulders, relax your head, and then straighten the legs. So this lifts up the hips so your hands stay in the same spot and your hips lift. Relax your head. Mostly cue for me. On that next exhale, bring your knees back down to the mat if you went up. Plant that left knee down, right foot comes forward, hands to the hips. We find low lunge, look forward. Relax your shoulders. We lift our chest and we breathe. If you want to take this one step further, we can bring our arms up to the sky here, shoulders away from ears. If your arms are up, then engage them. So biceps, triceps, forearms, spread the fingers. Breathing, finding that ujjayi. I am grounded. I am grounded. On that next exhale, we bring our hands back to the hips, push into the right foot, flex the right foot, and we hinge back, finding that half split. and that stretch along the back of the leg. So find your gaze, shoulders away from ears, stick the booty back. As soon as we start focusing on that, like flowering, like open up your booty and push it back, back, back. And then all of a sudden it should kind of turn everything on. Find your breath. On that next exhale, bring both hands down to the mat. Circle around that right leg. Lift up your torso. Find a kneeling posture. Lean into the right leg. Step your left leg forward. Hands come to the hips and we look forward and find that low lunge other side. Breathing here, finding the Ujjayi. We know where we're going. We're sinking into those hips. We're just kind of slowly opening them up. This is such a great practice for when you have a desk job or you drive in your car a lot or you're on your phone a lot. I feel like anybody could kind of benefit from a hip opener. On that next exhale, maybe we even bring our hands up to the sky and sink down a little bit further. Spread the fingers, biceps, triceps, everything is engaged. Look straight ahead. Breathing. On that next exhale, we sink into that left foot. Maybe hands come back down to the hips. Flex the left foot, stick the booty back, and then lower the chest. Find your half split. So focus on those toes pointing towards the sky. Those hips really sticking back. Our chest is lifted and we're looking straight ahead. On that next exhale, both hands come down to the ground. We circle around that left leg. And we plant our hands back at the top of the mat and decide for our down dog. Knees up, knees down. This is our last one. Bend your knees, push into the hands, and then straighten the legs. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck. Engage those arms. Breathe. Find that Ujjayi breath. Think of the top of your palm where it connects to the fingers. Try to sink that little meaty piece of your hand into the mat. That'll help kind of ground you even more. On that next exhale, let's walk our feet towards the top of our mat and then hands towards the feet. Find our halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we bend our knees and rise all the way up to the top. Exhale, we bring our hands right to heart center and shake it out. Grab your sip of water, anything else you may need, and let's meet on our booties and whatever support you'd like to use. So coming back down to the ground. Take your time. When you come down, we can have our legs extended out in front of us. So once you're down, fleshy bits away from sit bones. Maybe take the legs a little bit wider, not super narrow, not super wide. Flex the feet, lift up the chest, and roll the shoulders down and back. Maybe hands kind of sit here. Let's engage our calves, engage our thighs. Find your soft pose. We're looking straight ahead. Our shoulders are rolled down and back. And find that Ujjayi. So our whole body is working hard. Engage your core, your pelvic floor, your booty. Your back is engaged. Your hands and your arms are rolled down and back. Trying to be as stiff as you can. On that next exhale, let's forward fold and let yourself be relaxed. So relax your feet, relax your muscles, and just be a gentle forward fold. Take a few breaths here. I am grounded. I am grounded. That next inhale, let's lift up the chest and just focus on the legs. So flex the feet, we lift up our chest, and then let's hinge at the hips, finding a very gentle but like engaged forward fold. So we're not trying to reach for toes unless we can actually touch them we're not pulling, we can just kind of set our hands there. Otherwise, hands to the shins, to the knees, to the ground. The strength comes from within the hips. So if we have those strong hips, then we'll be able to rotate further forward. Breathing. Check in with the breath. Are we feeling grounded? On that next exhale, relax your feet and let's just round the shoulders and be in that gentle forward fold. One more time. On that next inhale, let's push ourselves all the way back up. Both feet come together, knees open wide, and let's find butterfly. So as we find our butterfly, maybe we adjust our beautiful bellies. We bring our hands to our ankles, elbows in line with knees. We lift up the chest and we look straight ahead, off to the horizon. As we exhale, we shift from the hips, leaning forward, and we're just kind of finding this weight in our hands and our elbows. We're not pulling down. We're just kind of allowing ourselves to work with gravity here as we lean forward. I feel this in my inner thighs, my low back, my outer hips. It just kind of hits all the hippie areas. If your knees are up a little bit higher than what you'd like, you can always bring your feet out a little bit more and then fold down. So just do whatever is best for you for today. We're here for 5 more breaths. So let yourself sink in, feel into the opening of your hips. They worked hard today. So much strength comes from stretching. Like sometimes people don't realize that. Like they think yoga is just stretching. Think about how much strength you needed just to like extend your arms out if your knees were down in down dog. How much strength it took your back and your hips to like adjust while you're in down dog with knees up. There's just so much power that comes from yoga, and I think it's kind of magical. And people, if they've never practiced, they don't get it. They're like, it's just stretching. Somebody said that to me this weekend. So I'm like a little bit bitter. They're like, isn't that just stretching? And I'm like, no. On that next inhale, let's lift up our chest and bring our legs out to the sides, flex our feet, lift up our chest. And let's engage our legs. Hands come right in front of you and we just kind of hinge forward. So this is where I'm at this morning for these open hips, super tight. And as we breathe and we're here for a little while longer, maybe hands come out a little bit more. And hands are really just here for leverage. So as we exhale, we can bend at the elbows, lower down a little more. We can play with it and decide like where we need to go with this stretch. Yeah, we were all sitting on the floor and I just had like one leg extended and I was just sitting there casually talking to somebody and they were like, oh, your hips are super open because you stretch and all that yoga. And I'm like, okay. What a weird judgment. I don't know. Sure, maybe. Find your breath, feel into your body. It's just interesting how people pass judgments, you know? They're like, well, I'm okay with you being like, you know, fat because you practice yoga, even though I think of it only as stretching, but at least it's for your health. Like that was kind of the vibe towards the end of the day. I'm like, okay, why do we need to have people around us? Let's go back to pandemic quarantine. On that next exhale, let's lift up our chest and then slowly bring our legs back together and wiggle the knees, wiggle the feet. All right, let's find our backs. So coming onto our back, bend your knees, feet flat on the earth. Move your support to the side. And then once you come down and your shoulders Connected to the mat, decide for your arms, maybe they come up or maybe they're down by your sides. Wherever they're at is good. And let's just plant your feet in front of the hips and then just gently rock from side to side, just gently opening up that alignment. Breathing here, finding that ujjayi. That next exhale, let's come to some stillness. Plant that right foot down and let's cross with the left ankle on top of the right knee, finding a figure four. And you can just stay here if you want to focus on the hip opening. You could even lift up your knee and grab between your thigh, and pull it in for like a reclined pigeon. But I like to even just kind of gently rock my knee from side to side. So figure four, like back twisting action. So whatever your body is needing in this moment, then go for it. You may think like, oh, a deeper hip opener would be perfect right now, which yeah, it might be for you. So do it. If it's like, oh, my spine could really use a little extra twisting action, then go for it. Or if it's like right here, I'm good just being here, present, still. How often do we get to be still and not have to think about anything? On that next exhale, we bring both hips all the way back down. Plant your left foot down to the mat and let's go to the other side. So right foot crosses the ankle to the knee and decide if you'd like to go for that reclined pigeon or staying still or rocking back and forth and finding spinal alignment. As we breathe here, focus on wherever you're stretching. So either the back body, the hips, on that next exhale, plant both of the feet back down, come to center, move your dog out of the way. Both feet come to the outer edges of the mat, and let's just let those knees knock together. So finding broken bridge. If you feel like you need more, like a happy baby, where you grab your feet, knees come into the elbows, the armpits, or if you want like some back massages, knees into chest, rocking that low back, go for it. This is your yoga practice. So yogi free time begins now. You have 1 whole minute just to decide what would be best for you. Of course, my dog would like come over here when I'm like at the end of practice. She's like, oh, good. Now I get to relax next to her. Now that she's relaxed. Just maybe 3 more breaths here. And whenever you're ready, you can find that broken bridge again. Now, if you'd like to find butterfly pose, bring your feet together, soles of the feet together, knees open wide, go for it. Or you might even want to extend one leg, find a reclined tree. Like you can kind of play with this last posture, extending one leg, kind of moving back and forth, or just staying in butterfly. So where do you want to feel grounded? Do you want to feel grounded as a tree or a butterfly? It's kind of like, well, butterflies aren't grounded. Well, they probably have to be when they are transforming, right? So like maybe you're transforming in your grounded cocoon. On this next exhale, let's find our Shavasana. So, what does it look like? Does it look like this butterfly pose or this tree pose? Is that what it looks like? Or do you want to extend your legs? Do you need a support? Feel free to roll to one side, find your support, find whatever it is that you need to feel good in your body for a deep and wonderful rest of Shavasana. Once you find it, take a deep inhale, open mouth exhale. Deep inhale. Open mouth exhale. Let your body fill up as you breathe in. Focus on that belly expanding, chest expanding, almost like you're being lifted. And then exhale, letting it all go and just sinking into the mat. It's like gravity's giving you a nice big hug. And one more time on your own. Let go of any tension in the body. Relax your jaw, your forehead, your booty, your pelvic floor, your fingers, your toes, anywhere that you're holding tension. Try to let it go. If things are creeping up like task lists and to-dos, let those things be behind a yoga door. Imagine a door holding back those thoughts. If they happen to creep in, just let them just pass by and go out the other way. Somewhere in this beautiful space that you've created, let it be a safe space. Imagine the most comfortable space that you could ever be in. What would it look like? What would it smell like? What would it feel like? What would it sound like? And somewhere in this space, I'd like for you to plant a picture or a handwritten, I am grounded. Somewhere in this picture, it could be in the sand or on the wall. Remind yourself this is your Shavasana. You get to be here and completely and fully relaxed, enjoying whatever parts of the practice that you had today that was amazing, and letting your muscles rest before doing life again. Let's spend the next few minutes in silence for your Shavasana. Begin to tap back into the breath. Take a deep inhale and an exhale. Wiggle fingers and toes. Circle out wrists and ankles. Take both hands overhead for a full body stretch. Let it feel sweet. And when you're ready, let's roll to one side and push yourself up to find a comfortable seated posture. Bring your hands to heart center, tuck your chin and close your eyes, and just thank yourself for showing up today, for being present in the practice. Amazing job. Bring your thumbs to third eye, that space between your eyebrows. The divine light within me honors the divine light within each and every one of you. Thank you for practicing with me today. Awesome. Very good, friends. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you have any questions about the email that I sent to you, feel free to send me an email. I'm happy to answer any and all questions that you have. But keeping in mind this week is going to be a little bit different. I have something that's going on Thursday, so no class on Thursday, and that restorative will move to the Wednesday class. So I think it's still on the schedule. I'm going to be adjusting it today. So it's just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, and same for next week as well. So, but that's it for me, friends. And send me any emails if you have any questions about anything else. Happy to answer for you. Have a great Monday. Bye.